of the day. My name is Brandon Hathaway. I'm the preacher at the Westside Church of Christ in Owensboro, Kentucky. I want to thank you for joining me today as we open up the Bible and study the Word of God. Today we are in Matthew chapter 14. Matthew chapter 14, going to look at verse 22 and 23. Matthew 14, and starting with verse 22. And when we get into this, just what's led up to this, right, is the beginning of the chapter. We have John the Baptist being beheaded, his death, Jesus leaving there after hearing that news, has a great amount of people following him. He feeds those people with bread and fish. And so now we get to these verses here. And so verse 22, it says, immediately he made the disciples get into the boat and go ahead of him to the other side, while he sent the crowds away. And after he had sent the crowds away, he went up on the mountain by himself to pray. When it was evening, he was there alone. I bring up these verses just as a reminder to us that we need to be willing to take time aside to be with our God alone. Jesus, as he lived his life, as he started his ministry, let's put it that way, as he started going forth and preaching and doing these miracles and signs and healing the sick and casting out demons, people were always crowding around, right? If you continue to read throughout this chapter, he, of course, walks on the sea. They get to the where they're going. And when people recognize who he is, word gets out. And then they start telling everybody, here's Jesus. Here's the man performing miracles. Here's the guy healing the sick. Here's the man who fed 5,000. And so everybody's going to crowd around him. When people knew where he was, you don't get much alone time. And so Jesus made sure to find that time to go and pray to the Father, just him and the Father, right? To take that time to pray. You might say, again, we don't have other details on what he did besides praying, but in mindset, you have the opportunity to meditate, to plan, right? To plan out what to do next, where to go next, what to teach, what is going on, to reflect on what has taken place. Again, John the Baptist, the man who prepared the way for him, his cousin is dead, and so taking time to grieve. So a lot of things there, but it's just a reminder to us that we need to be willing to do that, willing to find time to go to our God in prayer, just you and him. And so, anyways, I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope everybody has a blessed day. If the Lord's willing, I'll talk to you later.